Watch TY react. We're about to react to what's it like growing up in the coldest city in the world. Shout out to Keon B. We're gonna see her like. We're gonna get to it. Y'all like and subscribe. We don't waste no time. Y'all know that. Let's get right to it.
Hi, I'm Kunbi, and here's what a typical day in my life looks like. Today, it's minus 48 degrees Celsius. For most people, it's hard to
Ooh.
imagine, but for me, it's just another winter day. Before stepping outside, we need several layers of special winter clothes. I start with camel
I
wool knee
won't
pads
be
to
able to
protect my
last.
joints
Like
and camel wool socks for insulation and warmth.
the
Then
coldest
I
I
put
felt,
on
I
insulated
think,
padded
was
trousers
like
and a light jacket under my down
negative
jacket. Wearing two
five
jackets
or
is
like negative
essential
two
for me
degrees.
when it's below minus 45 degrees Celsius. My down jacket designed for extreme weather is filled with thick insulation like goose down. Keeping your head, hands, feet, and neck warm is crucial. My
You know,
mittens
my
feature
people
traditional
won't
Yakutian
survive.
beaded patterns combining style and warmth. I also wear Yakutian fur boots, which are essential since regular boots will freeze in minutes. Okay, now I am fully geared up
Right now,
and
it's
ready
like
to step
30
outside.
degrees,
It takes
40, and it's
quite a bit
cold
of
to me.
effort and a lot of
Cold as
time to
hell.
just get dressed for the cold. Sometimes even a quick trip to the grocery store feels like a huge task in weather like this.
Mm. It's probably a bunch of snow
I
in that
live in an
city.
apartment building and our entrance is protected by two heavy doors to keep the cold from creeping in. It's completely normal in Yakutia to have two or even three doors to block out the cold. When you step outside, the icy air hits your lungs like a shock, making it difficult to
Dang.
breathe. The freezing dry air irritates your airways and the dense cold feels heavy with every breath.
Wow.
In Yakutsk, infrastructure is built for extreme cold, with roads, buildings, and utilities adapted for temperatures below minus 70 degrees Celsius. Most apartments like mine have 24/7 central heating to stay warm. Roads
You
require
got
constant
to.
maintenance to remain usable. Driving is tough with slippery
If they
conditions
have a
and the
power
need for
outage,
insulation and
no
winter
generated
tires.
backups,
Maintaining a
oh,
car is challenging,
everybody's
so
done.
I
They
stick
gone.
to public transport like buses. The nearest bus stop is about 300 meters from my home, which takes me about 5 minutes to walk. But even in that short time, I can feel the cold seeping through, especially on
You gotta get a
exposed
car,
areas like my
baby.
face.
You got millions of subscribers and you ain't got a car. Or maybe you just don't know how to
This
drive.
is my bus stop, right in front of our local cinema. Yakutia's cinematography is considered some of the best in the country. Despite our small population and extreme weather, filmmakers from Yakutia have gained worldwide recognition. Many of you might be wondering how we are managing to film in these freezing conditions.
Right.
Let me introduce you to my cameraman, Kim. Today we are using 3 different cameras to capture everything. Why so many? In temperatures like this, cameras freeze quickly, so we rotate them. Each one
Right.
is used for a maximum of 10 minutes before being placed back into a warm bag while we switch to another. Even we can only stay outside for about 15 minutes
That's
at a time before
tedious.
we have to rush back indoors to warm up. Filming here is no small feat. Cameras can malfunction, and every moment is a race against the cold.
Wow. It's time to move. How is it life in that city? Like
Buses
human
in
life.
Yakutsk are a lifeline for many, especially during the harsh winter when driving a car becomes a challenge. They are usually well heated, providing a much needed escape from the freezing cold.
Mm. That's just like
So
Antarctica.
after just being outside for 10 minutes, see, I don't feel my nose and it's painfully itchy. So when I touch I can't feel my nose and it's really cold.
Mm.
Walking outside for more than 10 minutes, you can already feel the cold biting into you. The exposed parts of your body, especially my nose, are
Why
the
she ain't got a
first to freeze.
shicey on?
As you can see, the skin on my nose is starting to turn white. That's the first sign of frostbite. So I decided to rush to the nearby mall to warm up before continuing. Even in these extreme conditions, we do have homeless people, like this woman standing in front of the mall. The city provides shelters during winter to help them stay warm and safe, but unfortunately, not everyone uses them. Many homeless people
Why?
suffer from severe frostbite, often losing fingers or toes to the extreme cold.
That's so you don't want to use no services. You're homeless in that type of weather. Oh man, that's crazy.
In Yakutsk, we have
That's
wardrobes in
crazy.
malls, cinemas, and theaters where people can leave their heavy jackets. It's impossible to walk around comfortably in a heated building while wearing a thick down jacket, and even moving in a padded trousers is a challenge. These wardrobes make it much easier to walk indoors after braving the cold outside.
Mm.
In Yakutia, we don't have big malls with lots of brands like in Central Russia. Here, the malls are smaller and have fewer options, especially now that many international brands have left. It's a very different shopping experience compared to bigger cities.
Right.
Most people in Yakutia prefer to order online, and Chinese shopping apps are very popular. It's convenient, especially with limited choices locally. Instead, we have many local jewelry brands, as Yakutia is the largest diamond mining region in the world. Most of the world's diamonds are mined here, but almost all are exported abroad, and the few that stay are priced higher.
Right.
Despite this, diamonds and jewelry are very popular among locals, with most pieces made from silver and gold.
You could probably go over there and get a whole Cuban for cheap.
Malls are social hubs in Yakutia where people gather not just to shop, but to escape the cold and spend time together. With limited outdoor activities during winter, they are a place to meet friends, enjoy a warm meal, or let kids play while staying out of the freezing weather. Another unique shopping experience in Yakutia is the local fur
That was a
brands.
nice mall.
Yakutia has been a center of fur exports for centuries. During the Russian Empire, high-quality furs like sable, mink, and fox were sold across Europe, mostly sourced from Yakutia. Known as soft gold, these furs were prized for their luxury and durability. Women here often shop for fur coats, as they are not just a luxury, but a necessity. Even my
You
two
need
jackets
that
will
to
not
stay
be
warm,
enough
or
to
you're not
handle
gonna
the extreme
survive.
cold for long, but a fur coat provides unmatched warmth and protection against the freezing temperatures. The price of fur coats starts at $6,000 and go up to $17,000 for a sable coat. But of course, with such high prices, not everyone in Yakutia can afford one. Many women save for
I ain't gonna
years
lie.
to invest in one.
Put a shiesty on. Shoot! Take that, John. Nah, I'm playing. Don't be a thief. Work hard. And you can
So
be
in
able to buy
Yakutsk, I don't
expensive things.
have any car. At this level of coldness, the weather can easily freeze the car. So I prefer just to walk outside or
It
take a
didn't
bus.
freeze the other cars.
I've never owned a car in Yakutia, it's just too much effort. Engines must run all the time to avoid freezing, or you can use heated blanket systems, which turns the engines on and off automatically, but they are very heavy and hard to use. For me, taking the bus is easier, but walking to the bus stop and
That
waiting in
makes
the cold
sense.
is not easy either. When I was a kid, I used to take the bus to school all by myself from the age of 6. Sometimes the bus would be late by
At
half an hour,
6?
and there were no heated bus stop back then. I will
Where
just
was your
stand there,
parents?
freezing, with the wind cutting right through me. Because it was so cold, I even cried once, but my tears froze into little icicles. After that, I realized crying outside in Yakutia is not the best idea. I guess when you're a
I ain't
kid,
gonna
you
lie,
don't
I've been
feel the
there
cold the
before.
same way and don't take it as seriously
On the
as you
bus
do when
getting
you
off
get
from work.
older. Many kids here play outside even in minus 50 degrees Celsius
And the
because
bus
they
was
just
hours
don't
late.
want to go back home. They want to have
want to
fun
crash
no
out.
matter how harsh the cold is. Using phones outside in Yakutia is a challenge, so we don't rely on them much. We only take them out if absolutely necessary, as the cold drains the battery or shuts them off. Phones here are more for emergencies than casual use.
Oh wow.
I started feeling cold again, so I found a small coffee shop nearby to warm up. It's such a relief to step inside, feel the heat, and take a
They
break
probably
from
gotta
the
have the
freezing weather
heat at
outside.
least on 100 just to like keep it feeling good. Because if you have anything less than that, the cold is just going to like
Тун туш полностью ами
overpower it.
разтеклась. Здрасте.
After warming up and taking a short break, I wanted to show you just how cold it is outside. I asked for a cup of hot water from the coffee shop to demonstrate something incredible: how hot water instantly turns to ice when thrown into the freezing air.
Damn. Crazy.
So now we are taking a taxi to the another district, the least safest district in Yakutsk, I would say. And even the taxi drivers, they are not taking us.
Wow.
Yakutsk is a relatively small city with a population of around 400,000 people. Despite its size, it's cultural and economic hub of the region. The central areas of the city are more developed with government buildings,
It
shopping
seemed
malls,
boring though. Like, why
schools,
would you
and
want to be
cultural
there? Like, I mean,
landmarks
the
like
locals live
theaters
there,
and
they from there, but
museums.
like,
Life here is
why would you
busier
want to
and more
move there?
modern compared to the outskirts. But let me show you the other part of the city. Like any city, Yakutsk has its less safe areas. These neighborhoods are often on the edges of the city, where the infrastructure is less developed and living conditions can be quite rough. Historically, most of Yakutsk was built with wooden two-story flats spread across the city. Many of these old wooden flats still exist on the outskirts of the city, and people continue to live there because they simply can't afford to move into newer stone apartment buildings. Life in these wooden flats is incredibly challenging. Most don't have modern plumbings, so there are no showers or toilets inside. Residents use public toilets outside, and during the winter, when temperatures drop to minus 50 degrees Celsius, this can be brutal. Many people rely on using buckets for their bathroom needs, which they then have to carry outside to empty. It's a harsh reality for those living in these areas, reflecting the stark contrast in living conditions within the city.
That is messed up.
These
Damn.
old wooden flats do have a central heating system, but it's often not enough. The cold air seeps through gaps in the windows and walls, making it hard to keep
Close the
warm
door. She didn't even
even
close the door.
indoors. Residents have to rely on additional layers of clothing and blankets to stay comfortable during the harsh winters. This neighborhood is considered one of the most dangerous in Yakutsk. It's better not to walk here alone after dark, as you might come across drunk people wandering the streets. However, it's important to remember that not everyone here is like that. Many residents are hard-working people who simply can't afford to move to a newer, more comfortable place. Despite the challenges, they stay and do their best to make a life here.
That's good, man. That's good that you work hard.
It's getting
you stay out
dark,
the way.
and I would rather not to wander alone in this neighborhood. Instead, let's move to the safer streets of Yakutsk, where most young people spend their weekends and where locals go to have fun. This street is a renewed version of the old city, complete with a beautiful church at its center.
That's
It
a nice
blends
church.
modern shops and restaurants with a touch of Yakutia's history, making it a favorite spot for locals. In Yakutia, the only real way to have fun during winter is indoors. Most locals spend their time in restaurants, cafes, or malls, as these warm spaces are perfect for relaxing, meeting friends, and staying active.
Makes
Dating
sense.
and socializing in
I
Yakutia
wanna be
usually happen
outside,
in restaurants
having
and
snowball
nightclubs,
fights
the
and
main
shit.
spots to meet during the long
To
winters.
see who get the
Despite the harsh
most
weather, people here love dressing
craziest
up.
frostbite
Women
first.
especially take pride in looking after themselves and dressing elegantly, no matter how extreme the conditions are outside. Drinking alcohol in Yakutia is dangerous because it numbs your senses, making it harder to feel the cold. Sadly, there have been many tragic incidents where people, after drinking too much, fall asleep outside and freeze to death. This happens
Wow.
especially often during the New Year celebrations, when temperatures are at their lowest and people spend more time celebrating and drinking. It's a harsh reminder of how unforgiving the extreme cold can be.
Yeah.
So this is how one of my day looks like in the coldest city on earth, Yakutsk. I hope you enjoy it and stay warm. Now I am going back home because I feel really cold.
The little
Bye.
cold we got in the city right now, that's about 30, 40 degrees. I ain't complaining no more. They living brutal. Like I wouldn't. Would y'all be able to live in that city? Would y'all even visit that city? Like, y'all like and subscribe. I see y'all the next one.